They came out of the swamp. They tried to take down the president. The deep state and the Democrat rats must have made a suicide pact. We came to you with an offer of peace, but you rejected it and took to the streets. Russian collusion, no one will buy. We read the memo and we know it's a lie. We know where you live, we know where you sleep. We're fully trained and we're on to the teeth. We saw you coming and we were ready. You can run, but you cannot hide. Cause we're coming for you now. You can run, but you cannot hide. Cause we're coming for you now. Deep state implosion overdrive. Cause we're coming for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause we're coming for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. They came out of the swamp. They tried to take down the president. The deep state and the Democrat rats must have made a suicide pact. We came to you with an offer of peace, but you rejected it and took to the streets. Russian collusion, no one will buy. We read the memo and we know it's a lie. We know where you live, we know where you sleep. We're fully trained and we're on to the teeth. We saw you coming and we were ready. You can run, but you cannot hide. Cause we're coming for you now. You can run, but you cannot hide. Cause we're coming for you now. Deep state implosion overdrive. Cause we're coming for you. What up, everybody? Happy 4th of July to everybody. For all Americans, no matter where you are around the world, and for those of you who think you're American, even if you're in the country illegally. All right? No DACA, no amnesty. Come in legally. All right? Anyways, folks, happy 4th of July. Here it is, Krakow. It's coming up on quarter till 11. And I know some people are going for a barbecue. Michael, I just got your message, man. I got the new system set up. I'm excited. I'm streaming on YouTube, Periscope, because Twitter suspended permanently Holy Joe Rock. So I'm now at gab.ai for the Holy Joe Rock, at Holy Joe Rock. Also stream.me and Twitch. I'm on Twitch. Everything's the account is holyjoe, except here on YouTube, it's Joe Bonsai Poland. Anyhow, I digress. Just to let you guys know. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if you saw my video when I was in the Rinnick talking about the Burger King that's opening up in the old town of Krakow. For some reason, when I showed my t-shirt, that part got clipped out. That was a live stream. Now, I don't know if it was just a bad signal or if YouTube is that, I mean, come on. They can't be that good. They clipped out this t-shirt. But this Tyrant t-shirt that I got from Infowars.com, I don't even know if it's available anymore, really turned a lot of heads. Now, the average Polish person just ignored it, but I noticed that most likely they were libtard Americans or maybe Canadians, I don't know, or even Europeans that were probably not Polish, like I said, because they were the ones sitting in the various restaurants outside. They would be staring at this shirt, giving me the stink eye. So nobody said anything. I was hoping for someone to say something like, what does that shirt mean? Or why do you hate Obama? I don't know. But no conversation, no interaction with anybody. Yeah. But, yeah, definitely turned a lot of heads. And I was ready for any kind of kerfuffle. Should have come to that. But hopefully, we just have a conversation. And I think the conversation would basically be, listen, regardless of what you think of Trump, it's pretty obvious that Obama will probably go down in history as the worst president in American history. Jimmy Carter is very happy. Very happy. I mean, they're talking about naming, the Democrats are talking about naming a boulevard after Barack Hussein Obama. I think the Republicans need to name a boulevard after Barack Hussein Obama because during his whole tenure, time in office, he lost the Senate, he lost the House, he lost the presidency, and he lost governorships, state houses, state legislatures across the nation. I mean, the Democrat loss has never been this big. And it's all because of Obama and his failed policies. Now, I think it's too early to say, but we can say that at this point in the presidency of Donald J. Trump, we've seen a massive turnaround. Not only in the economy, but just in the, what do they call it? The Geizhals, the Geizhals, the feeling. For most people, for people who are reasonable, people who are rational, and people who are not brainwashed by the mainstream media to think that Trump is an orange-faced pumpkinhead or whatever. So it's pretty obvious that Trump's policies, if you look at it, are basically the opposite of what Obama did. Now, remember when Obama said these jobs are not coming back, these factories are not coming back. Trump says he's going to bring back the jobs. How's he going to do it? He's going to wave a magic wand. Man, my voice. No, former President Obama, there's no magic wand needed. Simply do the opposite of what you were doing. Bring back the economy. Cut regulations. Cut taxes. Make people positive about their country again. And just bring back the economy, right? Some people have used the analogy of a boat tied up to the docks, right? You're wondering why was the boat not going more than one knot? Why was the boat, why was the economy never growing more than 2%? Barely even hit 2% GDP growth, right? During the Obama years, right? It's like a boat tied to the docks. Trump just cut the rope and the boat's going, right? That's part of it. Part of it is just also the optimism that you have a president there who builds businesses, and Trump has built thousands of businesses, right? Or at least you could say hundreds of businesses. He's done thousands of deals, most likely. And he knows how to get out the way. Get out the way. Let people do what they want to do to make business happen. Also, these tax cuts have put more money in the pockets of companies. They can pay bonuses. They paid bonuses. Hopefully you got a bonus if you're out there when the tax cuts came out. Hopefully you got a pay raise. Wages are supposedly going up. I'm actually able to participate in the boom in the U.S. economy, the economy in North America, even from Krakow by working remote as a U.S. citizen. I'm obviously able to do that. Of course, I'm subject to U.S. taxation. If I make over, I think it's $100,000 a year, but I haven't done it yet. So, you know, come on. I would like to. I would love to pay taxes in the U.S., right? That means that I would have to make over $100,000 working remote. Hasn't happened yet. Would love for it to happen. Nowhere near close to that happening. But anyhow, I want to encourage everybody on this 4th of July to remember, freedom is not free, okay? It is vigilance that keeps us free. And for those of you that are on the fence, maybe you did not vote in the 2016 election, but maybe now you're leaning towards, you're seeing the positive that this administration is happening, this is causing. Hopefully you can see that. Now, if you've been brainwashed by the mainstream media, you're probably not watching this channel. If you are, thank you for watching. Welcome. I'm an American. I live overseas. I've been living overseas now for over 10 years. And I'm seeing things from maybe a different angle, slightly different angle. Okay, I'm able to see things. I'm not suffocated by the mainstream media. I don't watch any of the mainstream media. So I maybe have a little bit of a different take on things. But what I'm seeing is a return to an America First policy. What I'm seeing is a return of nationalism, populism, and just doing the right thing for Americans, right? America first. That's the bottom line. Now we can argue on the margins about the JQ and are they in control, but I have a feeling, as we saw in Syria, when Trump launched his attacks, they were basically missile theater, right? It was just a show of force without really creating further destabilization of the Middle East, okay? Now, maybe tomorrow, I have my DNA results back. I want to do a separate video, probably not live because I don't want to display some personal information, but whatever. It's pretty much what I expected. It is pretty much what I expected, with a couple of caveats, which we'll get into when I get to that. But what I want to say is, look, if you did vote for 2016, please be sure that you're still registered for 2018 for the midterms, November 2018. This year, we've got to get out there. Everybody's got to get out there and vote for pro-Trump candidates. Okay, we need to make this a red, not just a red wave, but a red tsunami. Okay, a red tsunami. We need to shut down these leftists, these libtards that are talking about impeach 45. We need to get ready to re-elect 45. Okay, seriously. And here's the thing. Some people, and I think Michael just mentioned this in the comments, that the leftists are having a meltdown, and some have, you know, some are predicting civil war, right? We've been talking about civil war for forever, right? I mean, look, I'm old enough to remember talking about race wars in the 60s. Well, not the 60s. I was too young for that. But there was rioting, there was looting, there was a lot of problems that occurred in 1968 or so. And that really was the impetus for a lot of white flight from some of these urban areas, which now became Democrat S-holes. Like Baltimore, you know, like, well, maybe not Detroit so much. Detroit really crumbled later on, but that you could probably pinpoint that as the beginning. A lot of people in Detroit left Detroit, went to Flint, Michigan, for instance. Anyhow, in the suburbs, Birmingham, that kind of stuff. But these leftists, when they see that the American tide is turning to the right, towards populism, towards nationalism, towards America first, protecting our borders, just doing the right thing for American citizens. Doesn't matter if you're a naturalized citizen or if you're here legally or you're an American citizen by birth. If you're an American, if you're here legally, and when I say here, I mean America, you should be protected before anybody else. Okay? Especially illegal immigrants. Illegal immigrants, okay? Or illegal aliens. They're here, they're in the country illegal. The law states they need to be deported. Now, those that claim political asylum or some kind of religious asylum, they have to go through a process. But you can't do that by crossing the border illegally. You have to go to a port of entry and identify yourself as a refugee or claim asylum or whatever it is. And there's a process for that, okay? But it's crazy, man. Yeah, there's one comment here that there's only one way for a civil war, and that is if the military splits. But listen, when I served in the military, there was nobody who was libtard. If you were libtard, you weren't in the military. One possible exception, there was one Jewish guy. It was a Jewish guy. He was a pussy. I don't know what happened to him. He was definitely. He didn't go to my university. He went to some libtard university, but when we when we had our field exercises, when we had our trainings, he would be with us, and he was definitely on the left. But that's one guy out of maybe 280 people. Okay, but nobody believes in this libtard stuff. And in fact, the libtards on campus would call all of us, conservatives, Nazis, whatever, haters, that kind of stuff. And in fact, my girlfriend, my girlfriend was one of these women. Okay, when I was in university, I was in the military, and she actually thought that when I asked her out, but for whatever reason, she went out with me, and she realized that wasn't the case, and we had a pretty nice relationship for about 2 years, 2.5 years or so. So, whatever. All I'm saying is, stay strong. You know what's right. It's not about left and right. It's about right and wrong. Okay, and if you're on the right, you're right. If you're not doing the right thing, you're on the left, most likely. Okay, pretty simple. But you got to get out there and vote. And some people are predicting that when the results from the midterms come, and it is a red wave, red tsunami, which I'm really hoping for, and I need you guys, if you haven't registered, get out there and register. This is your chance to really push that red wave. Obviously, if you voted in 2016, you're probably still registered, but you got to double check, right? Don't wait to the last minute. Make sure you're still registered to vote. And for Americans who are overseas, absentee, right? I did a video on how to register to vote absentee. What is it called? The federal absentee ballot, whatever. I have a video on that, but you can just Google how to register to vote absentee, and it's pretty simple. You fill out the thing online. I think you have to print it, sign it, and mail it in, and then you're registered for wherever you last had legal residency, okay? Think about where your driver's license is. If you didn't change your driver's license, you're probably still, or where you filed your last tax return, state tax return, if you have to file state tax returns, right? I know Texas and Florida don't have state income tax. Alaska doesn't have state income tax, but if that's where you were last, probably that's where you have your driver's license, and you're overseas, consider that your state of residency, okay? And that's it. Just register and be ready to vote. Now, when the red tsunami comes in and the Republican, let's call it a pro-Trump Republican Senate happens, and a more pro-Trump Republican House of Representatives comes into being, the libtards are either going to realize that they've been wrong this whole time, that Trump is not a Nazi. Obviously, Trump is doing the right thing. Or some have predicted or suggested that they may resort to the only thing left, which is violence, right? And that may bring on martial law, civil war, what have you. I don't know. I don't see that really happening. I see people being angry, for sure. But I see that as the results of Trump's pro-America policies continue to kick in, the economy is approaching 5% GDP growth. One of the Fed predicted 4.7, 4.8% in this quarter. This is the third quarter? The third quarter of 2018. Come on, that's 5% GDP growth. Think about that. Think about the power and the power of that locomotive of the U.S. economy and how that's going to really help. I'm seeing other videos of African Americans who are really praising Trump. They may have been on the fence before, but they see what's happening in their communities, in inner city areas where factories are coming back, where steel mills are coming back. Specifically thinking about places in Michigan, places in Wisconsin, places in Missouri, like St. Louis, Missouri particularly. You know what I mean? The best social program is a job. The best social program is a job. If you have a job, you have responsibilities, hopefully you feel good about yourself, you're making a contribution, you're getting a paycheck. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit pissed off about the taxes, but they're going to be less. They're going to be less than they were before. and you don't have time to commit crimes because you're working, right? And you probably don't want to go to jail because you got a pretty good job, right? So these are all positives which should help compound on them. And with the 5% GDP growth, man, that's going to really raise revenues to the federal government, even at the lower tax rate, right? Even at the lower tax rate. And it's going to help close the budget deficit, hopefully, this next year. They're talking about, obviously, Trump's not going to sign continuing resolution budgets. He wants a real budget. And some of the meetings that were publicized, the senators talked about this, even, you know, that this is a great thing, that they want to do this because this continued resolution is not reviewed by the senators and the Congress people, and a lot of waste happens, right? Because you can't. It's easier if you make a real budget, because then you can contract out things, let's say 4 or 5 years out, versus 6 months, because you'll get better. The government will get better deals when they can commit to a longer term with their whoever they're buying stuff from, right? It's not this continuing resolution, and there's none of this stop-start stuff, which maybe there's penalties in the contract. If you stop the contract, there's a penalty. Whatever. This is all nonsense. I don't bore you with that stuff, but you can kind of envision that. Think about that. You know, if you start your cable, cut it off, and re-enable it, you might have to be charged, right, when the guy comes out to return on your cable, right? That's what I'm talking about. These kind of things. But imagine that on a massive scale, of $4 trillion budget. It's a lot of money wasted. All things looking good. All things are looking good. You know, and this is with the Trump administration facing 24-hour fake news, the media constantly harassing him, haranguing him, lying, really straight up lying. Like what we saw in the Time magazine, this picture of this little girl and facing off Trump, trying to claim that this little girl was separated from her mom. First of all, the mom brought this kid into the country illegally. Second of all, and most importantly, she never was separated from the mom, so it was a total lie. And third of all, we know that the father of this child, the husband of this woman, reported, I guess he's from Honduras. They have a good life, not a great life, but a good life in Honduras. And this woman just left them he has 3 other kids, took this child, and went to America illegally, right? And when you learn that whole story, if you're watching this and libtards hearing this for the first time, I mean, think about it. Think about how you've been lied to by the media. Hopefully this is a red pill. This is a red pill for you to wake up, okay, and recognize that you've been lied to, and that Trump is just trying to make America great again, and it's just one step at a time. So I'm looking forward to seeing some fireworks, probably on YouTube. I don't have any American TV anymore. I don't know what happened. Either the receiver died, or the antenna's out of position. Probably the electronics that picks up the signal probably got fried. I'm guessing that's what's happened. Who cares? Whatever. Not that important. I know I'm not really missing anything. Was that a knock-knock joke? Did I say knock-knock, who's there? Anyhow. America. Yeah, that's really all I got, guys. I just want to say happy 4th of July. I wish I could be there with you. My son and I went to, well, I mentioned this CK, I think it's called CK Boulevard, by Bagatella Theater, just right outside the Rinnick. We had some grilled stuff. But it was traditional Polish, you could say, / Germanic type food, like barbecued ribs, pork knuckle, not the whole one, but a part of it, some stewed sauerkraut, stewed cabbage, I should say, roasted potatoes, and skabova, which is like breaded pork chops. Freaking delicious, totally stuffed. And that was basically what we had for the 4th of July here. So the rest of my family is on the farm right now, but they should be back soon. And it's all good, people. It's all good. Have a great 4th of July. Enjoy the barbecue. Enjoy that red meat or whatever meat. You know, grill it up, baby. Grill it up. That's what it's all about. Independence, baby. All right. Thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell so you can be notified when there's new videos. And also, if you really want to help out this channel, please do me a big favor. Do me a big favor. And do me a big favor and go to holyjoe.bandcamp.com. Okay, check out some of my music. The last 2 albums, New Genesis, really a great album. There's 7 pro-Trump theme songs. Also, Proud to Be American is on there. You can buy the individual tracks, or you can buy the whole album. Also, the 6th CD, which is called Smoke and Mirrors. I'm still working on it. I believe there's 9 tracks up there right now. But as ideas come to me, I'll probably add to it. Excuse me. And you can buy the entire discology, the 6 discology, at a 16 or 15% discount. I think it's $37 right now. Really enjoy this music, share it with your friends, and really it would help support this channel. I really appreciate that. I'm thinking about coming up with some t-shirts and, you know, with some cool stuff. That'll be probably coming up next to help support this channel, keep it going. And thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate all you who are watching, especially those people who have been with me for the long haul. Appreciate you guys. But also the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, Patreon I have. Patreon/HJRR, I believe it is. Links are down in the description box. You can hit me up with PayPal if you want to do a one-time tip. I kind of recommend that if you're not interested in Patreon, you know, taking money out of your account every month. But you can do it as little as $1 a month, whatever. I'm not trying to e-bag. If you really want to support this channel, I really would appreciate it. Because, you know, the revenue from advertisements is crap. I mean, it's even, I think I told you it was half, a year ago it was half of what it was 2 years ago. Now it's even half that. I'm thinking honestly about just disabling monetization altogether, because it's really not worth it, right? It's just simply not worth it to depend on monetization for getting just a little bit of money, right? Just a little bit of a scratch to pay the electric bill, what have you, pay the light bill. So, thanks everybody. Remember to make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain.